Hello, everyone. We are on 14, and 14 is simply my way of keeping track of the lessons or the book studies. Now, I am no teacher. I'm simply a student. Any take on these teachings is simply my own opinion. And it is important that you access these texts and read them for yourself, study them, apply them, become them, digest them, think about them, meditate on them, and then revisit them. So anyway, I am, as any of you have been following along, you can see that I am kind of fumbling with the technology. This is a one-person operation. It is a labor of love, and it is all trial and error. Mostly error. However, these book studies, I try to get them up twice a month. I will publish the blog as well so you can have access to the original text from 130 years ago. This is written in question and answer form. So if you're looking to study Theosophy or find out more about Theosophy, I highly recommend the study of this particular book. And this is called The Key to Theosophy, written down by HPB, Helena Petrovna Blavatsky. She did not create it. It was written down by her, came through her. There are other texts throughout the millennia that have come through as well. And this is a good one to start with, Voice of the Silence. You also see back there The Secret Doctrine. And then you've got Light on the Path. We do some live book studies of those. If you are coming onto this channel, I don't know when to do the live book studies. When is the best time? Because I'm on GMT time. I'm here in the United Kingdom. But anyway, let's get started. Oh, I do need a teleprompter, so please forgive. I'm trying to be able to read, and I definitely need work with lighting and stuff like that. But as an old broadcaster back in the day, I'm a radio broadcaster. I have some skills, so I try to use them in sharing only what I own, which is my experience and my current understanding as a fellow student of the Theosophical teachings. So let's go. So Key to Theosophy 14, we are in section 4, the abstract and the concrete. Now I will read this for you, and then I kind of give some definition of some words and things like that, but listen for yourself. Listen and understand and apply, because the learning takes place not through initiation or from anybody else, but inside yourself. You. Okay. The abstract and the concrete. Inquirer, please elucidate, which means to clarify this difference a little more. Theosophist. The society is a great body of men and women composed of the most heterogeneous, which means diverse or mixed, elements. Theosophy, in its abstract meaning, is divine wisdom. The homogeneity, which means uniformity, sameness, of eternal good. And in its concrete sense, it is the sum total of the same as allotted to man by nature on this earth and no more. Some members earnestly endeavor to realize and, so to speak, to objectivize, which means give reality to, Theosophy in their lives, while others desire only to know of and not to practice it, and others still have joined the society merely out of curiosity or a passing interest, or perhaps again because some of their friends belong to it. How then can the system be judged by the standard of those who would assume the name without any right to it? Is poetry or its muse to be measured only by those who would be poets who afflict our ears? The society can be regarded as the embodiment of Theosophy only in its abstract motives. It can never presume to call itself its concrete vehicle. Okay? It can never, that's the Theosophical Society, can never presume to call itself the concrete vehicle so long as human imperfections and weaknesses are all represented in its body. They're talking about human nature, character defects, us being human, and the mistakes that we make. Otherwise, the society would be only repeating the great error and the outflowing sacrileges of the so-called churches of Christ. If Eastern comparisons may be permitted, Theosophy is the shoreless ocean of universal truth, love, and wisdom. Again, I'll repeat that. Theosophy is the shoreless wisdom of universal truth, love, and wisdom. That's good. I would highlight that. I think I did. Okay. Reflecting its radiance on the earth, while the Theosophical Society is only a visible bubble on that reflection. Theosophy is divine nature, visible and invisible, and its society, human nature, trying to ascend to its divine parent. Theosophy, finally, is the fixed eternal sun, the fixed eternal sun, and its society, the evanescent, fleeting comet, trying to settle in an orbit to become a planet, ever revolving within the attraction of the Sun of Truth. It was formed to assist in showing to men that such a thing as Theosophy exists, and to help them to ascend towards it by studying and assimilating its eternal verities, truths. Inquirer: I thought you said you had no tenets or doctrines of your own. Theosophist: no more we have. The society has no wisdom of its own to support or teach. It is simply the storehouse of all the truths uttered by the great seers, initiates, and prophets of historic and even prehistoric ages, at least as many as it can get. Therefore, Theosophy, it is merely the channel through which more or less of truth found in the accumulated utterances of humanity's great teachers is poured out into the world. Humanity's great teachers. You'll be familiar with some of those. Inquirer: but is such truth unreachable outside of the society? Does not every church claim the same? Theosophist: not at all. The undeniable existence of great initiates, the true sons of God, shows that such wisdom was often reached by isolated individuals, never, however, without the guidance of a master at first. But most of the followers of such, when they became masters in their turn, have dwarfed the Catholicism. Now let's pause here for a second. I've gone on for a while. Look at that. Catholicism, yes, it's a religion, but Catholic actually means universal, wide, diverse, open-minded, tolerant. So let's read that again. When they became masters in their turn, have dwarfed the Catholicism, the open-mindedness of these teachings, into the narrow groove of their own sectarian, which means bigoted, narrow-minded, groove of their dogmas. So, of these teachings into the narrow groove of their own sectarian dogmas. The commandments of a chosen master alone were then adopted and followed, to the exclusion of all others if followed at all. Note well, as in the case of the Sermon on the Mount. Each religion is thus a bit of the divine truth. Each religion is just a bit of the divine truth, made to focus a vast panorama of human fancy, which claim to represent and replace that truth. Inquirer: but Theosophy, you say, is not a religion. Theosophist: most assuredly it is not, since it is the essence of all religion and absolute truth. Theosophy is the essence of all religion and absolute truth, a drop of which only underlies every creed. To resort once more to a metaphor, Theosophy on earth is like the white ray of the spectrum, and every religion only one of the 7 prismatic colors. Ignoring all the others and cursing them as false, every special colored ray claims not only priority, but to be that white ray itself, and anathematizes, which means to curse or condemn, and curses or condemns even its own tints from light to dark. So you've got the white ray, 7 colors coming out. White ray being the truth. The 7 colors coming out. Imagine all the world's religions. Christianity, Judaism, Buddhism. You've got all Islam, all of them coming out. All of them seem to claim that they are the one and only, and that even their own little branches fight amongst each other, which is like that old Indian saying, which says, what does it say about the trees, the branches of one tree? Foolish is the tree whose branches fight amongst each other, for they all share the same root. I'm totally paraphrasing. I can't remember exactly how that says, but anyway. Okay, yet the sun of truth rises higher and higher on the horizon of man's perception. And each colored ray gradually fades out until it is finally reabsorbed in its turn. Humanity will at last be cursed no longer with artificial polarizations, but will find itself bathing in the pure, colorless sunlight of eternal truth. The 7 rays will stop acting divided and cannibalizing themselves and pontificating as though they are the only ray. There is one ray, many different branches. One tree, many different branches. Okay? And this will be Theosophia. Okay? The original white ray, where all the colors, where everything comes from. Again, only my take and my understanding at this time. Please study for yourself and see how these teachings reveal themselves to you. Okay, Inquirer, your claim is then that all the great religions are derived from Theosophy, and that it is by assimilating that the world will finally be saved from the curse of its great illusion and errors. Theosophist. Precisely so. And we add that our Theosophical Society is the humble seed which, if watered and left to live, will finally produce the tree of knowledge of good and evil, which is grafted on the tree of life eternal. For it is not only by studying the great religions and philosophies of humanity, by comparing them dispassionately, pausing here to insert that the objectives of Theosophy, the second one is the comparative study of all the world's religions, sciences, and philosophies, in whatever order you choose. Study them, observe them, compare them, apply them, do them, see which ones, you'll see the similarities in there. Religion, science, philosophy. If you want to use theology or spirituality, science, philosophy, compare them. Okay. For it is only by studying the various great religions and philosophies of humanity, by comparing them dispassionately and with an unbiased mind, that part's important, it's all important, that man can hope to arrive at the truth. It is especially by finding out and noting their various points of agreement that we may achieve this result. For no sooner do we arrive, either by study or by being taught by someone who knows, at their inner meaning, that we find almost in every case that it expresses some great truth in nature. Inquirer, we have heard of a golden age that was, and what you describe would be a golden age to be realized in some future day. At some future day. When will it be? When shall it be? Theosophist. Not before humanity as a whole feels the need of it. And a maxim in the Persian Javadan Karad, I hope I'm saying that right, Javadan Karad, says, truth is of 2 kinds, one manifest and self-evident, and the other demanding incessantly new demonstrations and proofs. It is only when this latter kind of truth becomes as universally obvious as it is now dim, and therefore liable to be distorted by sophistry and casuistry. 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 I don't use that word very much, but sophistry and I don't use it at all until now, just. Casuistry and sophistry are beautiful words. We should use more of the words from the 19th century. 18th century. 1900s. Well, all of them. There's a lot of stuff we don't use. Anyway, Casuistry and sophistry means it's clever argument to deceive, especially when moral issues are at hand. It's kind of it's unsound reasoning. Let's go with that. So let's go back. Here we go. And is therefore liable to be distorted by sophistry and casuistry. It is only when the two kinds will have become once more one. It is only when the two kinds will have become once more one. It's beautiful. That all people will be brought to see alike. Inquirer. But surely those few who have felt the need of such truths must have made up their minds to believe in something definite. You tell me that the society, having no doctrines of its own, every member may believe as he chooses and accept what he pleases. This looks as if the Theosophical Society was bent upon reviving the confusion of languages and beliefs of the Tower of Babel of old. Have you no beliefs in common? Theosophist. What is meant by the society having no tenets or doctrines of its own is that no special doctrines or beliefs are obligatory on its members. But, of course, this applies only to the body as a whole. The society, as you were told, is divided into an outer and an inner body. Those who belong to the latter have, of course, a philosophy, or, if you so prefer it, a religious system of their own. Inquirer. May we be told what it is? Theosophist. We make no secret of it. It was outlined a few years ago in the Theosophist and Esoteric Buddhism, and may be found still more elaborated in the Secret Doctrine. It is based on the oldest philosophy of the world. It is based, listen here, please. It is based on the oldest philosophy of the world. It's called the wisdom religion, or the archaic doctrine. And if you like, you may ask questions and have them explained. And that means we will move further into the key to Theosophy next time. So that was 14. I call them 14. We're actually in section 4, I believe. And got a wider lens there. I definitely need a teleprompter. I really do. I've tried some where I can, wait, oh my God. No, wait. Yeah, there you go. Okay, good. I want to make sure I'm on the camera. Okay. So there are free books over at Yogi Theosophy, which is there's a digital bookstore that gives you these free books. This is up there for free. Get your free copy of that. This is going in there. I haven't had a chance to do that because these book studies and getting the website and the social medias, it's all been an adventure. And I don't even, like I said, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm just doing the next indicated thing. Coming across these teachings, finally discovering them, applying them, I have found that they have made such a difference inside me and in my life and in the way that I react to traumas and dramas and good things as well, that change it's felt so right. It felt so good that I feel I must be of service somehow. The only thing I have is from the very beginning of my life. I did singing telegrams. It was my first job. I did stand-up comedy for a short period of time. I was a tour guide. I did at Universal Studios and several other places. Then I went into radio and television. So I can speak. And I can present. So I am just here on this channel. I'm not worried about the amount of followers, wherever they are down there. It's good if there's more of you because I believe it will help people. And I believe that if everybody applied this, it could probably, I believe that world peace is very possible. But the compassion, I mean, like in our diets, we became vegan. It's changed our lives. We've had like a fountain of youth. The compassion in dealing with family events and current events and in your neighborhood, in your community, it makes a difference. And so when people say, what is their mission in life? I see a lot of people saying, oh, I'm going to change the world. Well, change yourself. If everybody changed themselves, compassionate, healthy, empathetic, loving, unconditional space, I think we could change the world. But it isn't by changing somebody else, because you can't change anybody else. You can't even change your hair. Well, maybe you could control and change that for a few minutes, but only a few minutes. So anyway, I love you very much. Thank you for watching and being a part of this. If you like, visit the Yogi Theosophy bookshop. I will include links to the original text of the Key to Theosophy in this blog and in this video. And if you have any comments, questions, I try to answer all of you. I do. And again, it is only me. So if you like these and you're able to share them, that does help. And if you're able to apply them and become them, that helps even more. Because I just believe that it's time for these teachings to come out into the world. I love you very much. And I'll see you later.